All right, so let's go around the screen. I'm going to call on you one at a time. And I'm going to ask you just tell me a couple of things. We're going to go around the screen a few times here. I'm going to start with Oscar in my top right box. This is for all of you. Please just repeat your first name and tell me the county and state that you live in.
Oscar, York County, PA.
Welcome, Oscar. Jennifer.
Jennifer, Washtenaw County, Michigan.
Great, welcome. Maria.
Maria, Clark County, Nevada.
Great, welcome. William.
William, Butts County, Georgia.
Great, welcome. Irma.
Arizona, Maricopa County, Arizona.
Okay. Justin.
Justin, Clark County, Nevada.
And last but not least, Hector.
Hector, Mecklenburg County, North Carolina.
Great, great. Welcome to all of you again. Now, all of you, I should tell you, are Hispanic American. There are no non-Hispanic Americans in this group, right? Nobody wandered in by accident? No, okay. So what I'm curious is, if you don't mind sharing, I'd like to know what your family's country or countries of origin is/are. So your ancestors, or if you came here from another country as a child or as an adult, where did you come from? So Hector, why don't you go first? We'll go reverse.
So technically, I was born American. My parents are originally from Puerto Rico, which is part of America.
Got it. Excellent. Thank you. Justin.
Born in the United States, but family from Mexico.
Great. Irma.
Same, born in the United States. Family comes from Mexico.
Great. William.
Born here in the U.S. Family migrated from Spain to Puerto Rico and then made their way here.
Great. Great. Thanks. Maria.
Born in the United States. My parents are Puerto Rican.
Okay. Jennifer.
Born in the United States. My family's from Mexico.
Okay. And Oscar.
I was born in Venezuela, and my parents are Dominican, so I guess I'm Venezuelan, Dominican, and there's some Italian in me as well.
Great. All right. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. So I'm curious to know how each of you stays on top of events going on in the world or in our country. So what sources of information do you rely on? Irma, why don't you go first?
Live TV, live news, Fox News, and internet.
Yeah, tell me where. I should have been clear. Where on the internet, where on TV, where on radio, social media? Give me more specific if you wouldn't mind.
Local news in our county, and then world news is like Fox News, and then Yahoo
Online.
Online.
Great, thank you. Hector, how about you?
I would say I get the majority of my news either through X, or also I watch a lot of videos on either YouTube or Rumble.
Okay. Jennifer.
I get my news from Fox News, Google, also from YouTube as well, and local news on TV.
Okay. Maria?
I stopped watching the news on TV, and I just basically watch a podcast on YouTube.
Which one, if I may ask?
PBD.
Okay. So that's your only source of news these days?
That's my majority source. There's a few others, but that's the one I go to on a weekly basis.
Okay, great, thank you. William, how about you?
Usually go to all the cable networks.
So, which ones?
Fox, CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, Fox Business. I try to get a variety, get everybody's opinions, and find out what's going on.
Okay, great. Justin, how about you?
From online sources, Disclose TV, Rumble, as well as X is a major source. And then there's your like Google News feed and stuff that comes up there and Chrome type of stuff from the media or like over the air type of TV, like News 3, so NBC News, your Fox 5 News, and CW News, which is pretty much NBC News. Maybe it switches off a little bit. Those are the main sources.
Got it. Thanks. And Oscar?
The cable networks, I do CNN, Fox News, and then I go to TikTok, but I don't watch TikTok just for the, to watch the news, but I do get some news feeds on that. So TikTok is pretty good too.
Great. Thank you. So I'd like to know whether you're paying more attention, less attention, or the same amount of attention to the news now as compared to before last November's election. Okay. So comparing your news consumption, how much now versus before the last election. By a show of fingers, who says you're paying more attention now than you did before the election? Paying more attention. 4 of you are. Who's paying less attention? None of you. Who's paying about the same amount of attention? 3. Okay. And I'm also curious as to how much you think about American politics on a day-to-day basis. Is it barely at all, somewhat, or a lot? So who says you think about American politics barely at all? None of you. Who would say somewhat? 2. Who'd say a lot? 5. Okay, great. So let's go around the screen, have you introduce yourselves. I'm going to ask you to tell me a few things. I promise not to stump you, at least with these easy questions at the beginning. Just please repeat your first name and tell me what county and state you live in. So I'm going to start in my top right box with Rosalind, who's muted, by the way.
Hi, my name's Rosalind, and I live in Forsyth County in Georgia.
Great, welcome. Connie.
My name is Connie, and I live in Maricopa County, Arizona.
Great, welcome. David.
Hi, my name is David, and I live in Cole County, Georgia.
Great, welcome. Mariana.
Hi, I'm Mariana, and I'm in Wake County, North Carolina.
Great, welcome. Zachary.
Hi, I'm Zachary, and I'm in Bay County, Michigan.
Great, welcome. And last but not least, Ruby.
Hi, I'm Ruby, and I'm in Cobb County, Georgia.
Great. It's great to have all of you join us. Thank you so much. So all of you are of Hispanic American ancestry. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, great. I'd like to know, if you don't mind telling me, what your family's country or countries of origin is or are. In other words, if you were born in another country, where were you born? If your parents or grandparents came from somewhere else, where did they come from? So, Ruby, why don't you go first? We'll go in reverse order.
Yes, I was born in Colombia, South America.
Great. Zachary?
I was born in the United States. I think my great grandfather immigrated from Mexico.
Okay. Mariana?
Hi, I was born in Venezuela, and then my family's from Spain.
Okay. David?
I was born in Wisconsin, but I was raised in Mexico City. My mom was Mexican and my dad American.
Got it. Great. Connie?
I was born in the United States, goes back to my grandparents, so I guess my great-grandparents came from Mexico.
All right. And Rosalind?
I was born in California, and my dad immigrated here from Cuba.
Great. Okay, thank you. Thanks for giving me that background. So the next thing I want to ask about is, I'd like to know how each of you stay on top of events going on in the world and in our country. So what sources of information do you rely on? I'm looking specific names of TV stations, websites, social media, radio, newspaper, whatever it happens to be. How do you stay on top of what's going on? Mariana, I'll start with you.
I stay on top with Twitter, and then TikTok, and then I usually have my channel on and it will be Fox News or any other running cable.
Okay. Ruby, how about you?
I have, I look at the news and sometimes Fox News or CNN, and I get information from Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. Connie?
I watch on cable, it's Fox and CNN, but I also go through Google News and then I get Reuters and AP and MSNBC. So I try to take a variety of information.
Okay. Rosalind, what about you?
I listen to Fox News just for like an hour when I'm dropping my kids off at school. And the rest of the day I'll listen to podcasts, as well as seeing articles from like Epic Times and things like that.
Epic Times. Okay. And Zachary?
I'll read the websites for the New York Times, New York Post, Yahoo and Google News, and various social media platforms like Reddit and YouTube.
Okay. And David?
I like to get a variety of news sources, starting with the Today Show in the morning, and then I listen to lots of radio talk shows like Mike Gallagher, Eric Erickson, Hugh Hewitt. Then I watch the CBS and NBC News. I also watch Fox News, and even sometimes try to watch MSNBC. And you know, through Facebook, I also get news and comments. And I also like you know, getting on the internet, checking different news stories. And I also get news through, you know, those news sources in email every day that have interesting stories. So I check those as well. Maybe I consume too much news.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'd like to know whether you're paying more attention, less attention, or the same amount of attention to the news now as compared to before the election. Okay. So among the six of you, who says you're paying more attention now than you were before the election to what's going on in the news? Who's paying more attention now? Rosalind, anybody else? Okay. Who says you're paying less attention than before the election? I got Ruby and Zachary. And who's paying the same amount? David, Mariana, and Connie. Okay. And I'm just curious too, how much do you think about American politics on a day-to-day basis? Barely at all, somewhat, or a lot? So who says you think about American politics barely at all? Anybody fit that category? None of you. How about somewhat? 4 of you. Okay. That's Rosalind, Connie, Ruby, and Zachary. And who says a lot? David and Mariana.
In between what and a lot. I don't know how to answer.
We'll put down for somewhat.
Okay.